Keeping your gut healthy is super important. Hippocrates wasn't kidding when he said all disease starts in the gut. A lot of the health issues people deal with today actually trace back to problems with their gut bacteria. Now, if you're someone who loves bread but hates how it messes with your blood sugar, there's a simple trick that might surprise you, and it starts with your freezer. Sounds weird, right? Most of us just toss bread in the freezer to stop it from going moldy. But there's actually real science behind why freezing it can make it better for your body. Stick with me. I'm going to break it all down, and by the end, you might never look at your loaf the same way again. First things first, if you're tuning in from somewhere cool, drop a comment and say hi. Got questions? I'm all ears. Now let's talk about the magic of frozen bread. Bread is a staple for a lot of people. Sandwiches, toast, quick snacks. But how you store it can actually change how your body responds to it. Freezing bread isn't just about keeping it from going stale. It can actually change its structure in a way that makes it easier on your blood sugar. Here's the deal. Bread, especially white bread, is mostly made of starch. When you eat it fresh, your body quickly breaks that starch down into sugar, which hits your bloodstream fast and spikes your blood sugar levels. That's why you might feel an energy rush at first, but crash soon after. Then comes the hunger, cravings, and sluggishness. For people with blood sugar issues or insulin resistance, that spike and crash cycle can be even more intense. But here's where freezing comes in. When you freeze bread, something really cool happens to the starch. The freezing process actually changes some of the digestible starch into what's called resistant starch. And resistant starch works differently. It's more like fiber than sugar. It takes longer for your body to break it down, which means it helps keep your blood sugar more stable and your energy more consistent. It also gives your good gut bacteria something to feed on, which supports better digestion and a stronger gut overall. So, by freezing your bread, you're not just keeping it fresh longer, you're actually giving it a little health upgrade. If that sounds like a win to you, comment freezing magic below. Now, let's dig into resistant starch a bit more. It's a type of carbohydrate that doesn't get broken down in the small intestine like regular starch. Instead, it makes its way to the large intestine, where it acts as a prebiotic. That's food for your good gut bugs. This slower process of digestion leads to all kinds of health perks: steadier blood sugar levels, fewer energy crashes, longer-lasting fullness, so you're not hungry 20 minutes later, and better digestion. Plus, since it feeds your gut bacteria, it helps support things like mood, brain health, and your immune system too. So, a small change, like freezing your bread, can actually bring some pretty awesome health benefits. If you're planning to give this a try, drop a bread hack in the comments. And if you're into gut health, leave a healthy gut below. Better digestion really does mean better health. And now you've got one more simple way to make it happen. Freezing your bread might sound like just a way to keep it from going stale, but it's actually a clever little health trick. When bread is frozen, something cool happens to its starch. It changes into something called resistant starch. This kind of starch takes longer for your body to digest, which means steadier blood sugar, more consistent energy, and fewer cravings later on. Plus, resistant starch feeds the good bacteria in your gut, which helps with digestion and supports your overall health. The best part? Your bread still tastes and feels the same. So next time you bring home a loaf, toss it in the freezer first and give your body a little boost without even trying. If you're excited to avoid those sugar crashes, comment no more sugar spikes. Want to take things up a notch? Try toasting it straight from the freezer. Freezing already gives your bread a health upgrade, but toasting it right out of the freezer takes it even further. This double process changes the starch even more, making it even tougher for your body to break it down quickly. The result? Even lower blood sugar spikes, more stable energy, and fewer mid-morning crashes. Here's how to do it. Freeze your bread to turn some of the starch into resistant starch, then toast it directly from the freezer to reinforce the benefits. It's an easy way to keep your blood sugar steady and help you feel full longer. Give it a go and notice the difference. And hey ladies, small changes can lead to big wins. Comment smart eating if you're all about simple, healthy habits. If you're still wondering why this matters, here's a bit more. Freezing changes the bread's starch, and toasting it after freezing takes that change even further. This slows how fast your body turns bread into sugar, helping you avoid the energy roller coaster. It's a tiny tweak with a big payoff. Ready to try it? Comment, toast it up. Now, let's talk mold. Nobody likes pulling out a loaf of bread only to find it's gone green. Freezing your bread is one of the easiest ways to prevent that gross surprise. Mold loves warm, moist environments, so when bread sits out, especially in humid kitchens, it becomes the perfect breeding ground. But in the freezer, mold doesn't stand a chance. This means you can buy a few loaves at once, store them for weeks, and never worry about wasting half a loaf again. Just take out a slice when you need it, toast it, and enjoy it fresh every time. Less waste, more savings. If you're loving this trick, drop a no more mold in the comments. Worried freezing might mess with the taste? You're in for a surprise. Toasting frozen bread can actually make it taste better. Here's why. When bread is frozen, little ice crystals form inside. When you toast it, those melt and create steam, which gives the bread a crispy outside and soft, fluffy inside. It's the perfect combo, especially for crusty or artisan breads. If you're someone who loves golden, crunchy toast with that soft bite in the middle, freezing your bread might be your new favorite kitchen hack. Try it out and comment perfect toast if you're all about that crunch. And to make sure your frozen bread stays top quality, here are a few quick tips. First, wrap it well. Bread can dry out in the freezer if it's not sealed properly. So use a freezer bag, press out the air, and maybe even wrap it in plastic wrap or foil for extra protection. Second, label it. Bread is good in the freezer for up to 3 months, but it's easy to forget when you put it in there. Just write the date on the back so you can use the oldest bread first. Third, toast it straight from the freezer. No need to thaw it. It saves time, keeps the texture great, and adds to the health benefits. And finally, if you're not in the mood to toast it, let it thaw at the room temperature or warm it gently in the oven for a soft, fresh slice. With these easy steps, your bread will stay tasty, healthy, and ready whenever you need it. Skip the microwave when it comes to frozen bread. Trust me, it just doesn't turn out right. Microwaving tends to make it rubbery and chewy instead of soft and fluffy. Not the best texture for your toast, right? Instead, go for the toaster or oven. And if you want to turn your frozen bread into a healthy, satisfying meal, try adding some nutritious toppings. Avocado is a great pick. It's full of healthy fats that keep you full. Nut butter gives you a good dose of protein and lasting energy, while eggs pack in vitamins and nutrients that help you start your day strong. With a few simple habits, you can freeze bread the right way and enjoy every slice fresh and tasty without any waste. It's time to stop tossing out half-eaten loaves. If you're trying this at home, comment Freezer Pro. Now, why should you even bother with this bread hack? Well, who would have thought that freezing and toasting bread could actually boost your health? Not only does it help your bread last longer, but it also lowers the chance of those annoying blood sugar spikes and gives your gut healthy the boost thanks to resistant starch. And it couldn't be easier. Just freeze your bread, toast it when you're ready to eat, and you're good to go. You get all the benefits without doing anything extra. Plus, freezing bread means you waste less food, enjoy more convenience, and can stock up on your favorite loaves without stressing about them going stale. Now, let's talk about which breads are actually good for you. These days, bread often gets a bad rap, especially in diets focused on cutting carbs. But not all bread is created equal. Sure, white bread doesn't do you many favors, but there are better options out there that can actually support your health goals. Let's go over some of the best types to look for next time you're at the store. First up, whole wheat bread. Most people are familiar with this one, and it's a solid upgrade from white bread. What makes it better? Whole wheat bread is made with the entire grain, bran, germ, and endosperm, all left intact. That means it's naturally higher in fiber, plus it gives you protein, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals. White bread, on the other hand, is made with refined grains that have had the bran and germ stripped out, which also strips away a lot of the nutrition. Whole wheat bread may even help lower your risk of issues like heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and some types of cancer. But be careful. Just because a label says whole wheat doesn't always mean it's the real deal. Some brands use that label as a marketing trick, even if the bread is mostly made with refined flour. Always check the ingredients to make sure it says 100% whole wheat or whole grain, and steer clear of breads with added sugars or unnecessary oils. Another great option is sprouted grain bread. Like whole wheat, it's made from whole grains, but here's the twist. The grains have been allowed to sprout before being turned into bread. Grains are actually seeds, and when they begin to germinate, they unlock extra nutrients. For example, one study showed that pita bread made with 50% sprouted wheat flour had over 3 times the amount of folate compared to regular bread. Folate is a vitamin that helps your body turn food into energy, so that's a big win. Sprouted grain bread also has more antioxidants and fewer anti-nutrients, which are compounds that can block your body from absorbing certain minerals like iron. So, if you're looking for bread that's not just better for you, but actually gives you more of what your body needs, sprouted grain bread is worth adding to your shopping list. Bottom line, you don't have to give up bread to eat healthy. Just make smarter choices with what kind of bread you buy, how you store it, and what you pair it with. Little changes can go a long way. When grains are allowed to sprout, the starch inside starts to break down, which can help reduce the effect the bread has on your blood sugar. It's one of the reasons sprouted grain bread is such a smart choice for people trying to eat more mindfully. Another great option, sourdough. This type of bread is made using a natural fermentation process where wild yeast and good bacteria work together to make the dough rise. That fermentation step does more than just give sourdough its signature tangy flavor. It also cuts down on the bread's phytate content by up to 50%, which makes it easier for your body to absorb minerals. Plus, the fermentation process boosts the levels of prebiotics and probiotics, making sourdough easier to digest and gentler on your gut. And since sourdough has a low glycemic index, it won't cause major blood sugar spikes either. So yeah, sourdough burgers may be sour in taste, but it's definitely sweet for your health. Then there's oat bread. Yes, it's pretty much what it sounds like. Bread made with oats as a key ingredient. Most good oat breads are made with whole wheat flour, yeast, water, and of course, oats. That combo is already a good sign, health-wise. Oats themselves bring a lot to the table. They're rich in important nutrients like magnesium, iron, vitamin B1, and zinc. But what really makes them stand out is the fiber, especially a type called beta-glucan. This fiber has been shown to help lower cholesterol and keep blood sugar levels steady. That said, not all oat breads are as healthy as they sound. Some brands use just a sprinkle of oats on top for looks, while the actual loaf is made mostly with refined flour and added sugar. So always read the label and know what you're buying. It makes a big difference. Flax bread is another underrated star. It's typically made with the mix of whole grain flours and ground flax seeds. And flax seeds are seriously powerful. They're one of the best plant-based sources of omega-3s, especially AAA, alpha-linolenic acid, which has been linked to a lower risk of heart disease when eaten regularly. Flax seeds also help improve cholesterol, support healthy blood pressure, and may help regulate blood sugar. On top of that, they're loaded with lignans, antioxidants that might even help protect against some types of cancer. Though, to be fair, research on that is still ongoing, and we're not totally sure how strong that connection is yet. Still, flax seeds are a great addition to just about any healthy eating plan. These days, more people than ever are rethinking the way they eat. As we try to make better choices for our health, bread often ends up on the chopping block. And it's true, heavily processed, refined white bread doesn't do us many favors. But that doesn't mean you have to give up bread altogether. There are healthier options out there that can actually support your goals. Instead of avoiding bread completely, it might be smarter to pay closer attention to what's in it. Look for the breads made with whole or sprouted grains, fewer ingredients, and no added sugars or oils. That shift in mindset, choosing better bread instead of cutting it out altogether, is a step in the right direction for long-term health and balance. Let's be real. Bread is comforting. It's part of many cultures, family meals, quick snacks, and even those lazy weekend breakfasts we all love. Completely removing it from your diet can feel restrictive and unnecessary when there are so many better-for-you choices available. Whole grain, sprouted, and seeded breads offer not only better nutritional value, but also help you feel fuller for longer. These options are packed with fiber, vitamins, minerals, and even plant-based protein in some cases. Unlike refined white bread, which is quickly broken down into sugar in your body and can leave you feeling hungry again soon after eating, whole and sprouted grain breads provide a slower, more stable release of energy. That means fewer blood sugar crashes, less snacking, and better appetite control throughout the day. One of the main reasons people have labeled bread as bad is due to the rise of low-carb and keto-style diets, which often promote the idea that all carbs are the enemy. But it's important to remember that not all carbs are created equal. Complex carbohydrates, like those found in whole grains, fuel your body and brain. They're essential for energy, especially if you lead an active lifestyle or want to stay mentally sharp. Cutting them out completely might lead to quick weight loss at first, but it can also make you feel sluggish, irritable, and even cause digestive issues due to the lack of fiber. The good news, you don't have to settle for flavorless or cardboard-like health food. Many bakeries and brands now offer breads that are both nutritious and genuinely delicious. Think hearty multigrain loaves with sunflower seeds, chewy sourdoughs with that perfect tang, or nutty, rich slices made with rye or flax. These breads not only taste better, but they also work better with your body, helping keep you full, balanced, and satisfied. Another bonus of better bread, it supports gut health. Breads made with whole or sprouted grains, especially those containing seeds like flax or chia, act as natural prebiotics. That means they help feed the good bacteria in your digestive system. A healthy gut isn't just about avoiding bloating or staying regular. It's also connected to better immunity, clearer skin, improved mood, and even mental clarity. It's amazing how something as simple as switching the kind of bread you eat can influence so many parts of your well-being. When shopping, take a moment to really look at the ingredients list. A good rule of thumb, if you don't recognize the ingredients or the list is way too long, it's probably not the best option. Look for labels that say 100% whole grain or sprouted whole wheat. If sugar or enriched flour is one of the first few ingredients, you might want to put that loaf back on the shelf. Also, avoid breads with added preservatives, artificial flavors, or hydrogenated oils. The simpler, the better. And don't be afraid to experiment. Maybe you've always stuck to basic sandwich bread, but you might discover you love a thick slice of toasted rye with avocado or a toasted sprouted grain English muffin in the morning. These small changes can keep meals interesting and make you feel good about what you're putting into your body. If you're into baking, you can even try making your own bread at home. It doesn't have to be complicated. There are easy recipes out there that require just a handful of ingredients and minimal effort. Making your own bread allows you to control exactly what goes into it. And there's something really satisfying about slicing into a warm, freshly baked loaf that you made yourself. Plus, it's a great way to impress your family or guests. Let's also not forget that how you use bread matters too. Pairing your bread with healthy toppings can completely change the nutritional quality of your meal. Instead of loading it up with sugary spreads or processed meats, go for wholesome choices like hummus, natural peanut butter, avocado, eggs, or grilled veggies. You can turn a simple slice of bread into a well-rounded, nutrient-dense meal with just a few thoughtful toppings. And here's one last thing to remember. Food is more than just fuel. It's connection, comfort, and culture. Bread has been a staple in human diets for thousands of years, and for good reason. The goal isn't to fear food or label certain things as bad, but to make smart, balanced choices that support your health without making you feel deprived. So if you've been avoiding bread because of all the negative hype, maybe it's time to give it another chance, this time with knowledge and intention. Focus on quality, not just quantity. Make thoughtful swaps, read those labels, and enjoy every bite without guilt. Because the truth is, with the right choices, bread can absolutely be part of a healthy, happy life. So what do you think? Has this changed the way you look at your daily toast? Maybe you're still on the fence, or maybe you think we're really just loafing around with this topic. Either way, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Scroll down and drop a comment. Let us know which bread you love most, or if you've tried any of these healthy picks. Let's keep the conversation going, one slice at a time.